As Larry and I are kind of just vamping right here, we see finally a couple of Golden State Warriors have joined us in studio. Thanks very much to Patrick Baldwin Jr. and Ryan Rollins for coming on by. Guys, I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to shake hands and introduce ourselves before you got here, but that's live radio. Hello, Ryan. Nice to meet you. Patrick, nice to meet you. I'm Damon. That's Larry, and it's a pleasure to meet you both. How you guys doing?
Nice to meet you. I'm doing good.
Fantastic. By the way, just so we identify voices, that's Patrick Baldwin Jr., and we'll turn on Ryan's mic for him, and boom. Hello, Ryan.
What's up, man?
How you doing? It's good to see you guys. Thank you very much for coming on in. Kind of an interesting week around the Golden State Warriors, wouldn't you say?
For sure. An interesting week, for sure.
You know, I've been covering this team in one way or another before Joe Lacob bought it, before Steph Curry got drafted, and I can honestly say that what happened this week, what went down this week at practice, is so out of the realm of normal. In case you guys think any of this might be normal, it certainly is not. So I want to welcome you to what is normally an incredibly steady run, nothing out of the ordinary organization. It might not feel like that, but indeed, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I think from top to bottom, I think this organization is great. I'm sure me and Ryan can both attest to this, but I mean, from top to bottom, from leaders to young guys, I think it's a great organization.
Well, you guys are really well positioned, and I heard that your locker room, your lockers have literally been positioned. Is it true? Do you guys bookend Steph Curry? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I'm on the right side. He on the left side of him.
That's a pretty good center to have in between your lockers. What was your perception of Steph Curry, and what is it to finally get to know him and meet him and play with him?
I mean, he's great. I mean, he's a humble superstar. That's what he is. I mean, everybody knows who Steph Curry is. He's one of the greatest shooters of all time, and it's just to see him so humble and so down to earth is kind of, it's heartwarming. I like it. I love it.
He called out both you guys as having incredible work ethic, which is, I think, really cool. That's what I'd want to hear too. What do you think of, there's how hard you work, maybe in high school, maybe college, and then you get to the pros and it's a job. What do you think as far as kind of the vibe around this team as far as work and kind of the expectations on you guys coming in?
Yeah, I think for any level you climb, I think your work ethic has to match that. So from high school to college, your work ethic jumps. From college to the NBA, it jumps. But I think if you're like me and Ryan, we've been doing this work our whole lives, and I mean, we've put our whole lives in this game. I think when you get to this level and your work ethic matches the level you're at, I think it's a great position for yourself.
We were just talking a little bit about how, there's a lot of burnout in kids trying to pursue a career in sports early on in life. Did you guys play other sports as you were growing up? Was there something other than basketball that you played?
Yeah, I played baseball a little bit, football a little bit. Not in like high school or nothing, but I, just running around like a little kid playing football and stuff.
How about you, Patrick? Did you play any other sports?
Yeah, so I was definitely big in all the sports, soccer, baseball. I played football for a little bit. Actually played football for 2 weeks.
That was enough.
Yeah, I had a meager career in football, but soccer and baseball were the two ones that I played growing up.
Nice. You get a big strike zone when you're 6'10". It's hard to. I got to ask you, Ryan, because I've been a fan of your game. I love your mid-range game and just how you pull up off the drive and can shoot that mid-range shot. And I kind of see I don't know. I mean, it's hard to compare young players, but I see kind of like a C.J. McCollum. I see like somebody who could be that kind of player. Yeah. Is there anybody in the league that you look at and say, you know what, that game is similar to what my game's going to evolve to be?
Yeah, like you said, CJ. I mean, I watched a lot of his film. Like you said, the mid range is where he operates. That's where I like to operate. It's a good shot for me. I'm pretty efficient at it. So CJ probably the main.
CJ is your guy. Yeah. Oh wow. How about you, Patrick? Is there anybody that you model your game after? Because, you look so comfortable on the perimeter, and the form on your shot is just, you look like a son of a basketball coach. Your form is pretty good. Where did that come from?
Yeah, that honestly came from my mom. At a young age, she put the ball in my hands and taught me how to shoot. And, Dad just gave me all the tools outside of shooting. So it was really a good combination of both sides. But, when you're 6'10", you got to learn how to shoot over contests. When you're 6'10", you've got guys 6'7" closing out on you. There's really no contest, so it's about you focusing on the shot and making the shot.
Patrick Baldwin Jr. and Ryan Rollins, nice enough to come on in today and introduce themselves to us, and we get to meet you finally. And how cool is it that you guys have, both of you have basically said that you never really traveled too far from home as you were growing up. You're Midwestern guys. You didn't really venture too far out of the Midwest other than Detroit, Toledo. I think those are the two places you said that you've been at one point in time. And you stayed at home, obviously, in Milwaukee, saying no to several other opportunities to play for your dad and stay close to home. What was it like to then be thrown on an airplane and sent to Japan?
It was crazy, honestly, just seeing a different, environment, just seeing a different community and how they move and interact over there. It's very different. It's very clean. It's way cleaner than the States. How I say it's amazing how it is, honestly.
Yeah, definitely feel like a little fish out of water for sure. You go into a new culture, a new country for the first time. I think it takes a couple of days to get adjusted. But I think overall I enjoyed my experience, and I would definitely go back.
So the trip to Japantown didn't quite prepare you for the spectacle of Japan, though.
It did in certain ways.
It did in a little way? Oh, okay.
Certain ways. But in other cases, you got to experience it yourself to really get to know the community. But I think the trip to Japantown definitely prepared me and Ryan both for the trip.
I know you guys have gotten a little bit of the Bay Area tour. What stands out to you? What are places you'd like to go back to and check out on your own? What do you like about the place now that you've shown up here?
For me, mainly it's the weather. I'm from the Midwest, so it's very bipolar. You never know what you're honestly going to get with the weather. So, here it's 60s, 70s almost every day. You might get a little rain every couple weeks. But
as someone who grew up shoveling many a driveway and many a sidewalk, I would like to invite you to break every shovel that everyone has ever. You're not going to need it out here. No snow. No snow. Not going to need it.
Ryan, I got to ask you because, nobody becomes a pro athlete without work. And I was reading a story about how your dad used to get up basically for decades at 4 o'clock in the morning to go work at the Chrysler plant in Detroit. When you watch that, was that a motivator for you to just, keep putting up shots, keep working on your game because you had an example of just somebody who was working hard, basically all year long at a tough job probably.
Yeah, it was him and my mom. My mom would wake up at like 6:30. So, just watching them both go to work literally almost every day and just put in the work and come home tired almost every day and just put in that work. Like you said, it's motivation is motivation for me to go put the work in on the basketball court and just, be able to provide for them down the line.
Now, I don't want to speak ill of UW-Wisconsin's facilities, and I certainly am not going to speak ill of Toledo's facilities, but you guys now get to go to work at Chase Center every day, and that building is one of the more impressive buildings I've seen in sports. What is it like to call that place home now?
Yeah, I think it's one of the easiest environments I've ever been in just to focus on basketball. I think you step in that environment, and everything's taken care of for you. You can really just focus on your body and getting ready for practice or getting ready for a game. So I think they do a great job at the Chase Center of just, preparing young athletes to be, just really all in on basketball and 100% in your body in basketball.
Can I ask you about your ankle? Because you kind of had a trick ankle that probably delivered you to the Golden State Warriors, to be totally honest, because if that ankle isn't a problem for you, you probably have the year in college that makes you go higher in the draft, and so maybe it's even a blessing in disguise if you look at it that way. But can you tell us what the Warriors did to fix a problem? And I guess you have already credited them with how you feel already.
Yeah, I think it's been a tough run of the mill with injury-wise the last 2 years, year and a half. But I think coming to a situation with Rick and all the training staff here that have handled, Steph Curry and guys in the past, I think it's just great, for me moving forward and just so I can jumpstart my career. But, the biggest thing this year and this summer was just giving myself a chance, just getting healthy and just getting back out there and getting game touches and game feel again. But, yeah, really just getting healthy and getting back on the floor.
And, Ryan, we didn't get to see you in Summer League because the Warriors found that you had a stress fracture in your foot that you didn't even really know about. Did you feel like, geez, my foot hurts a little, but it's no big deal, I'm not going to tell anyone about it? How did that happen? How do you get drafted? How do you become a first-team all-conference player with a small fracture in your foot?
Yeah, I think honestly it happened during the build up towards the combine and all the team workouts before that. Just like I said, I was doing like 2-3 days during that time period for a couple weeks. So I really didn't feel it. It was just like a little nag in my foot. Just I have a bunch of those, so I was just playing through it, and I really didn't think too much of it. But then they told me, I'm like, oh well, I really couldn't do nothing about it in this situation, so I just had to sit down and learn and do what I could.
A question for both you guys: as you worked out for NBA teams, did you get a feeling that, hey, maybe the Warriors really are interested in me? Maybe this does happen. And when you were working out for other teams, did you get a feeling like, geez, this isn't working out? I don't think that this is going to happen. This workout went really well, but that workout over there did not go very well, and I don't think I left a good impression on them.
Yeah, I think both ways. You definitely kind of get a feel and gauge about how your workout went. I know there were certain workouts where I felt like everything was clicking defensively, offensively, everything was going well, but they did end up passing me up. But with some teams, you do kind of look back and say, I could have done this or that, but I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm happy I landed here.
Talk to us a little bit about your guys' path from high school, because I think it was interesting. You had an incredible senior year, Ryan, and 25 a game, and the big teams didn't come after you. You really were under recruited, and I'm just kind of wondering if that put a chip on your shoulder. And then from your perspective, Patrick, I've heard that you had a full ride offer basically as a sophomore in high school to Duke. At any point, were you thinking, you know what, I'm going to go there. I'm going to become, one of the next great player for Coach K. Maybe you guys could talk about that transition from high school to college.
Yeah, like you said, I was very under recruited, but I committed like after my junior summer, going into my senior year. So, before that, after my senior year, it was just I had already committed. So I was already playing, so it just was what it was at that point.
So it didn't give you any more determination to hey, I'm playing at Toledo, I could be playing for I could be playing in the Big Ten. That didn't weigh on your mind.
I mean, it did, but I knew it was one thing that my people always told me, like, if you can play, they're gonna find you regardless of where you are. So I stuck by that. I knew what I had to do, just keep my head down and keep working, and I'm here now.
You made it. And how about you, Patrick? I know you played for your pops, but at any point was the plan, go to Duke and play at Cameron Indoor?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know growing up I definitely had the cream of the crop of options, but I think the conversation that me and my mom and my father had was, I only get one chance at college. With my dad being a college coach and bringing me up 18 years, I thought it was definitely a big deal just to stay home and, really try to make it work with my father for however long I was going to be in college. But, once I committed, there was never a thought in my mind about if I would have done this or that. I was just excited and happy to go on the journey with him for that year.
Patrick Baldwin Jr. and Ryan Rollins of the Golden State Warriors are nice enough to stop on by here in studio. And I think a question that a lot of fans have is, how much has the plan the team has for you really been told to either of you yet? Because of all the basketball teams in the world, this might be one of the toughest to actually crack minutes on. I mean, it is a loaded roster. And, there's a 2-timeline plan that involves a group of other young players who got to the Warriors last year, and they had a very tough time cracking minutes and cracking the roster. I'm sure Steve and Bob have talked to you about that. Can you tell us a little bit about the plans that they have for you guys? And is your year basically going to be sliced up into phases, like introduction to the NBA, and then maybe some minutes, at the end of games, and then we're going to maybe start seeing you guys in a first half at some point? Have they talked about how you will be developed this year? We'll start with you, Patrick.
Yeah, I definitely think the process can be sped up or slowed down at any point. But the big thing with me this season was just, getting healthy and getting back up to speed. That's been the main talking point between me and my representation and Bob and Steve, is just getting healthy and really understanding the Warriors system, just because it's so complex. But, I will be spending some time in the G League, and I'm kind of expecting that. But at the same time, I'm just taking care of business and making sure, I'm ready if my number is called.
Yeah, like you said, me and him both come in here knowing that we're going to be in the G League a little bit. I'm cool with that. I'm just going to put in the work and just keep getting better. It's my first year, and like you said, we got a loaded roster, so I'm really willing to learn this year. Sure.
It's cool to go to the G League if you got an NBA check waiting for you.
Yeah.
That's okay, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you got an NBA check, playing some G League is great. And let me tell you, the facility down in Santa Cruz, I don't know if you guys have been down there to see it yet. It's fantastic. Like, you're going to love it. It's really good. So hopefully it all it all really works out. I think it's going to be fascinating to watch them bring you along. Can you tell us a little bit about the difference in an NBA practice as opposed to your college practices? When's the first time you felt like an actual experienced NBA body banging up against you and you're saying, okay, this is a little different?
Yeah, I think my first experience, and I'm sure Ryan has had to get through Kevon Looney screens a couple of times.
But same thing.
Big shoulders on Kevon.
Yeah, I'm guarding the wings and the guards and switching on the guards, and then boom, you get hit with a Kevon Looney screen, and it's like a rock. So that was kind of my welcome to the NBA moment, just physicality-wise. But, I mean, Kevon sets great screens.
When you guys are dreaming the NBA dream, I'm just kind of wondering, what did you picture? Like, is there going to be a moment this year, maybe it's against a certain team or a certain player, where you're going to kind of let yourself kind of take it in, like, hey, I'm here, I made it? I mean, when you dreamt the NBA dream, are you dreaming about shutting down LeBron, or is there a particular team or player that you guys, want to go against this year that will be a big night for you? Either one of you guys?
I wouldn't have a specific player or a team. I'm just, taking it all in, honestly. I mean, I'm in the NBA, just being able to play against all the top talent in the world. It's just all of them, honestly.
How about you, Patrick? Is there anybody that you thought, man, I would love to get to the league to shut this guy down or play against that particular team?
Yeah, I think as a competitor, that thought always goes through your mind. But I think me personally, I can't get starstruck by anybody if I'm going to take the floor. But there are going to be moments where you look to the left and right of you and you say, wow, that's LeBron, wow, that's KD, wow, that's Jason Tatum. Those are guys that I've watched for a while. But at the same time, you've got a duty with your team that you've got to accomplish. So I think it goes both ways, a double-edged sword for sure.
Yeah.
Can you tell us exactly the trash talk that was going on between Draymond Green and Jordan Poole? I know you won't. I know you can't. But how much did that affect the normalcy of this week? I mean, you guys haven't even been in the NBA very long, so I don't know how much you even know about a normal NBA week, but how much did that just change things for the entire team with press conferences and media obligations and just an investigation internally to see how abnormal has this last week or so felt, and how good was it to kind of just get back and practice as an entire team today?
Yeah, I think as a week, I'd be a fool to say it didn't throw a wrench in kind of the week, but I mean, overall, I think just seeing, the reaction from our teammates, the maturity of Jordan Poole, and, how the veterans handled it was really well. Then finally getting all of our guys back together was great today, but it's great to have Draymond back, great to have JP in a good headspace, and I think we're in the right direction right now.
The Warriors have had such good vibes for years. And there's a lot of and this team is interesting because it's almost like two teams. You got a very young group of guys, and your guys are now part of that, and Kuminga and Wiseman and Moody. Then you got these guys, these guys that can almost coach the team. They've been in the league so long. What's the vibe like on a team that has so much wisdom, so many rings, and such an incredible group of young up and coming prospects? What's the mix like, I guess, in the room?
I mean, like you said, it's got the old heads and the young guys, honestly. So, I mean, they give us very good points. They kind of pick on us a little bit, just because our age. They say a song came out before we was born or something like that. But, I mean, it's true, so.
It's jealousy.
Any good hazing? Any good hazing for you rookies?
Nothing crazy. We just been carrying bags and, having pass up headphones and this and that. But nothing too crazy, though.
No one's been sent out on a donut or a coffee run yet?
No, I think Iguodala is the best hazing so far right now.
What's he done?
Just a couple of jokes, a couple of things with me.
He'll make you caddy for him at some point, I'm sure.
He will, for sure. So I definitely have to get on the course with him.
How about Clay pulling? It was you, right, Ryan, that was sitting on the bench?
Sure. Yeah.
And the video caught that, and of course it went viral. Yeah. And you take your cushion and you're sitting off to the side. I mean, there's no option there, right?
No, not really. I mean, just get up and sit on the floor, man. Ain't nothing you can do. So.
Exactly. Has Clay invited either of you guys to the boat yet? Have you guys any invites to the boat?
Nah, not from him, but I mean, I'm cool.
How long? I've always asked this question. You're both elected president. Congratulations, you're president of the United States. How long do you have to wait before you ask your advisors, are aliens real or not? How long do you have to wait before you actually ask that question? You're president. They're going to tell you if it's real. How long do you guys actually have to wait before you can ask Clay if you can come on the boat?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know the timeline on that. If I'm the president and they were asking about aliens, that's classified information, I got to know immediately. But with Clay and his boat, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know neither.
How about dreams? I mean, when you guys are thinking about being here, there's the reality of it, and then you get to enjoy it from time to time. When will you guys kind of, or what point do you allow yourself to enjoy it and be like, you know what, the work, I'm putting in the work, but man, I'm enjoying that I'm an NBA player, a very select group of people.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I take a court with a smile every time. I mean, there's never a dull day when you're playing basketball, and I mean that with the purity in my heart. But I think you just got to remain locked in, put in the work, and you know, once that time comes and the ball stops bouncing, you can kind of sit back and enjoy it.
How about you, Ryan? Have you taken it all in and said, "Man, I'm one of the best players in the world. I'm in a very select group right now"?
I do, like, before every game, I like to just sit there for a minute and just think about where I'm at and where I could be and stuff like that, just to appreciate how far I've came and just the blessings, how blessed I am to be here, honestly. But, you know, like he said, you got to put in the work every day so you can't get caught in the ground easily. But I'll try to take a couple seconds, probably a minute or two, just to, you know, reflect on my life, honestly.
Nice.
Where were you guys on draft day? How'd you find out?
I was at home, honestly. I was in Detroit, and my family, not my whole family, but a lot of my family was around me, you know, just waiting on my name to get called. And it was a great experience. It was just to feel all the love and support that I was feeling at that time. It was amazing.
When the first round passed and you didn't hear your name called, were you prepared for that? Were you expecting that? And at any point in time, did you start thinking, maybe I should have gone back for another year? Maybe oh my gosh, you know, my first round came and went. Now nothing's really guaranteed to me. Was there any, you know, second guessing the decision? And then finally, when your name comes up, it must have been one of the greatest sounds you've ever heard.
Yeah, nah, for sure it was. But it wasn't no second guessing. But, you know, for sure after the first round, I was feeling a little, you know, just a little
anxious.
Yeah, a little anxious, a little feeling in my body. But I never second guessed it because I know, like, regardless of, like I said before, if you can play, they're going to find you. So,
yeah.
I mean, regardless of where you go, Nikola Jokic was second round. He's two-time MVP. So, I mean, if you can play, you can play.
Hey, it's Draymond Green guy, second round pick, if you don't know. Right. So there you go. Patrick, for you, it was, you know, a rise through the recruiting ranks and prospect ranks, and you were considered a lottery pick at one point. And now you declare for the draft, and you see your name coming. You know, where is it? Where is it? Am I? You know, what's going on? Did you get a sense of? Did you get that anxiety?
Yeah, I think anytime you're in the position and you see, you know, different names getting called in front of you, I think there's always that anxiety. But you know, as the draft kind of went on, it became very clear, you know, kind of what teams were interested in. And then, you know, right before that 28th pick, I got the call from my agent and said I was the pick. And I was around with my family and my friends and my teammates. And, I mean, it was just one of the best experiences of my life.
It's got to be one of the great days.
Mm-hmm.
We can't relate. I had a fantasy draft once. That's as close as I get. So that's got to be an incredible moment. You picked the number 7, or it was assigned to you?
Picked the number 7. Yeah.
Why?
I'm not really too sure. I just think it's a lucky number for me. It's popped up at moments throughout my life, and my grandpa's worn that number, and you know, I just think it's a big number in my life. Number
2. Why, Ryan?
My number.
Did you pick it, or was it assigned to you?
I picked it, but my number was normally 5. That was the number I had like most of my career. But I mean, if you think about it, 2 is the upside down 5 almost. So
there you go. There you go. No, by the way, we got to pause real quick for a top of the hour station identification.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco. Always live on Twitch, YouTube, and the free Odyssey app. Damn well better be free.
You're looking around like, where's that voice coming from? That's the other room. So you find out it's the Golden State Warriors, and I'm guessing this is a team that you watched quite a bit of. Did you think it was going to be the Warriors? Did you wake up thinking it was going to be a Warriors day at all? And when you did, both of you learned it was the Warriors. And maybe you didn't learn right away because it was Atlanta that drafted you, right? Did you know that you were going to get flipped to the Warriors, Ryan?
I mean, I didn't know till my agent told me. I mean, he called me into the room and he was like, yeah, the Hawks drafted you, but they're going to trade you to the Warriors. So, yeah.
Did that sound better than being a Hawk? Did that sound
yeah,
like...
it did, honestly. I mean, you coming to the defending champ. So, I mean, it was a great feeling just knowing that I was going to be in a situation where I get to learn a lot my first couple of years and just, you know, it's a great organization. So, it's great to be here.
You grew up a Bucks fan, right?
A Bulls fan, actually.
A Bulls fan?
Yeah.
I was reading how you and your dad were out in the Fear the Deer District.
Yeah, so we were out there during the Bucks and Nets series.
Okay.
But I grew up in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're a Warrior, and what did you instantly think?
I mean, I instantly thought about, all the years prior that I've been watching them play basketball. I think I just love the way they play. I love the way the Warriors and the Spurs played growing up. So those are two teams I really like growing up. But, I mean, you're coming to the champs, the team that just came off a championship a couple weeks prior, and, you get to play alongside some great Hall of Famers. So, I mean, there was really nothing to complain about, and I was really excited to get down here.
What were your first impressions of Steve Kerr?
He's exactly how he presents himself to the media and outside of the world. He's the same guy to the cameras or behind cameras. I think he's a great coach, definitely a player's coach. Yeah. But with the young guys, he definitely explains a lot of things and makes it very clear for us.
Ryan, both you guys are coming across as very mature. It's funny. One of the things I've read about you, Patrick, is that people say you're mature beyond your years. Both of you guys obviously have a lot of talent, but there's always skill development to still be had. What do you guys, when you look at your own game, where does the improvement need to come? What do you need to work on, Ryan? What do you need to work on, Patrick, to get to that next level?
For me, I think my three-point consistency is one of them. Just getting my body stronger, but I think that just comes with age and maturing and just being in the league for multiple years. So I would say that in three-point shooting for sure.
Yeah, I think just putting it all together for me is the big deal. Offensively, I show flashes that I can do a lot of things offensively, but it's just time to put it all together consistently, and then defensively, just physicality.
An indulgence purchase. Congratulations. You're a millionaire all of a sudden. How'd you treat yourself? What'd you do?
Me, I got a car. I got a new car.
What are you pushing?
I got an AMG.
Nice.
AMG Mercedes, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
So I also got a pair of wheels, but mine's a bike, so it's an e-bike. That was my big purchase so far.
All right.
There you go. Who's your guys' guy? I mean, you're a Detroit guy. I'm thinking maybe C. Webb. I mean, you're way too young to be a George Gervin fan, that's for sure, but he's a big Detroit hero. Was it Webb who was your guy, and Patrick, who was your guy growing up?
Oh, you mean like in the city?
Or just like, favorite players that you loved to watch when you were a kid?
When I was growing up, I would say locally, it was Khalil Felder. That was one of my guys. He played for the Cavs a little bit. He's over in China right now, I believe. He just came off the MVP year last season, so Khalil was my guy. That was my guy.
Yeah, so I got three guys. One was Jabari Parker, Chicago, Simeon. Taylor Horton Tucker, who I grew up playing with as a child. And then third guy is also a guy who played at Detroit, is Grant Hill.
Grant Hill,
a guy that I like watching growing up.
Have you talked to Talon since he got flipped to the Jazz, and how pissed off is he that he got flipped to the Jazz?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to get talk to him a bit, but I know he's in a good position, and I think he'll have a good season.
Well, awesome. Lots of minutes waiting for him in Utah. There's no doubt about that. Kind of the opposite situation that you guys are in right now. Video games. Have you played as yourself in 2K yet?
I did once. I don't play 2K a lot, but I did once just to, see how my.
There you are. You're in a game.
How'd you do? How did you do in 2K playing yourself?
I played one game. I played my brother actually, and I had a good game. I had like 30 and something else, but I think it was on like pro or something, so it was just easier.
Did you bench Clay to start yourself at the 2?
Nah, I benched Steph actually.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
Yeah, so I've definitely had a chance to get in the game. I've already bumped myself up to 99. Just
nice.
That's like move. What you got to do. It's a ritual. But I definitely played with myself. Had a good game, and whenever I'm playing as the Warriors, I definitely got to throw myself in the starting lineup for sure.
I mean, you're just human. Of course, you have to, right? I mean, that's the way it goes. As you think about what this season is in your own mind, and then there's going to be what the season actually is. What is a success for you? Have you set your own personal goal to appear in what, to score what, to average what, to be a good teammate? How? What is your goal for your rookie year? Let's start with you, Patrick.
Yeah, I think my goal is super fluent. It doesn't really have like an end goal, but it's just win each day. So to win each day, you got to win the morning for me. I don't know where I heard that from, but that just stuck with me. So if I come in, win each day, whatever that looks like, I think I'm heading in the right direction my rookie year.
Ryan?
Yeah, kind of the same thing. Just improve every day. I'm knowing these first couple of years are going to be a learning experience just to get my feet wet and just build a foundation on what I'm going to be. So I'm just going to take it day by day, get better every day, try to improve, and just stack the days.
Did you guys know each other from AAU circuits or just Midwest basketball? Family is a small family. Did you guys know each other before you met at Chase Center?
I mean, I heard of him. He was, the top
We
player
heard
in high
exactly.
school.
We heard of him.
You
Yeah.
probably ain't hear me though.
No, that's a lie. So I watch basketball, just period. So I had heard about, this kid from Toledo. I was watching some film, just some Eastern Michigan film, and came across some Toledo film, but hadn't really heard too much about him, but I definitely checked out some of his games.
Ryan, were you, I don't know if it came out, I was reading something yesterday that the finals were going on. Warriors bring you in for a workout. Steve Kerr's on the elliptical just off to the side while you're working out on the floor, and he says to Mike Dunleavy, "Who's that guy?" Did you have an idea even at that point that Kerr was kind of impressed by your game and during that workout?
No, I didn't even see it. I didn't even know he was there, honestly, during the workout. But I did pretty good in that workout, so I mean, it was good that he was there.
Yeah. What about pregame rituals or music, or like what gets you guys in the mode? But either going to high school, college, now you're in the pros. What's the essential thing? Is there something you got to eat or something you got to listen to before the game to kind of get your mind or body in the right frame of mind or ready to play?
For me, I mean, the music is really just how I'm feeling on that day. I could go from R&B to Detroit rap to all types of stuff. So, I mean, it's just depending on the day and how I'm feeling. But like I said before, the ritual, I just like to take a couple minutes and just, reflect on where I'm at and just give appreciation and just, think about the full picture of everything.
Yeah. How about you, Patrick?
Yeah, one of my big things is actually visualization. So you just kind of sit down for 5 minutes, close your eyes in a dark room. You visualize makes, visualize misses, visualize rotations. So just when you step on the court, you've kind of already gone through those images in your head, and it's just kind of like clockwork for you. So that's a big thing that I do before each game, and throughout my career, it's helped me.
Are you guys the team within the team? I mean, I don't think I've seen one of you without the other one standing next to each other at all times. You guys are deployed as the rookies. You did the tour together. You saw the whole city together. Your press conferences were together. You hung out in Japan together. I hope you guys get along and you actually like each other.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's good.
Sure.
Well, I tell you, it was genuinely really nice meeting you guys. You're both very easy to root for. You're incredibly down to earth. There's no doubt about that you guys have arrived in a wonderful situation to begin these what are hopefully incredibly long professional careers. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was nice to meet you both.
No, you too, both of y'all. Appreciate
Thanks for
it.
coming in,
Pleasure.
fellas.
Good luck with everything, guys. Really appreciate it. Patrick Baldwin Jr., Ryan Rollins of the Golden State Warriors. It was great to have him in here. Damon and Ratto with Larry filling in for Ratto today here on 95.7 The Game.